On today's show, Tesla finishes the third quarter and sets yet another personal best, obliterating its previous delivery records. Nikola continues its downward spiral and issues takedown notices against YouTubers who've been super critical of it. And Ford slashes up to $3,000 off the price of a Ford Mustang Mach E in the US ahead of its launch there. These stories and more coming next. This is Ecotricity's ecoTEC roundup show from New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company. We are 100% Kiwi and we're 50% community owned. Why not switch today at ecotricity.co.nz. Welcome to another weekend roundup into the news from the world of cleaner and greener vehicles and energy. Thanks for joining me. The end of the third quarter happened this week, and as a consequence, Tesla dutifully shared its quarterly estimates for both vehicle production and deliveries. These estimates, which I should remind you aren't official figures and could change by about 0.5% when Tesla's finished its official bookkeeping for the quarter, show that Tesla made a total of 145,036 vehicles. It delivered 139,300. That delivery figure is far more than the 90,000 vehicles it delivered last quarter, and a 43% year-on-year improvement on the 97,000 cars it delivered in Q3 last year. As you might expect, Model 3 and Model Y took the lion's share of both production and deliveries at 88% and 89% of those figures respectively. Expect official quarterly figures later this month or early next. Volvo has officially begun series production of its first fully electric car, the Volvo XC40 Recharge. Built on Volvo's compact modular architecture, or CMA for short, the Volvo XC40 Recharge shares the same underpinnings as the Polestar 2 electric car, from its 300-ish kilowatt all-wheel drive powertrain to its 150 kilowatt DC quick charge capability and 78 kilowatt-hour battery pack. While few people have driven the XC40 Recharge outside of Europe, initial reports are very promising, despite the XC40 Recharge being a hefty 456 pounds, 207 kilos, heavier than the Tesla Model Y long range. Range is expected to sit at around 208 miles, 335 kilometres on the EPA test cycle. Deliveries begin in the next few months. The never-ending telenovela that is Nikola Corporation took a new series of turns this week. After leaving the company last week, founder Trevor Milton was hit with a series of sexual abuse allegations. And then Nikola announced it was cancelling its Nikola Badger reveal event due to COVID-19. These two things alone have put the Nikola-GM relationship in very rocky waters, with GM quickly condemning any type of assault in an official statement. Sources say the Nikola-GM deal may actually fall through, especially if neither side can finalise anything by the start of December, by which time it will be considered dead. If that wasn't enough, Nikola's legal team took themselves to a new low this week by issuing copyright takedown notices against YouTube commentators who had used its previously available B-roll of a Nikola One quote in motion, or rather rolling down a hill. Nikola claimed on Thursday it was an automated thing via YouTube, but YouTube in a statement said, "Nuh-uh. I made a video about this on Thursday, so please do check it out, and we're making all of our in-house Nikola footage," that's footage that we've shot ourselves, "available to everyone else, free under Creative Commons." The ongoing competition to see who'll get the fastest electric car wrap at the WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca continued this week, with Lucid posting video of a new fastest time, 1 minute and 31.3 seconds. That's fastest for Lucid, because the time, which was secured by a development version of the tri-motor Lucid Air, puts the newcomer just 1 second behind the time set last week by a prototype Tesla Model S Plaid. While the Plaid Model S is still faster, it was set by a professional driver behind the wheel and a bucket seat replacing Tesla's usual interior. Lucid, meanwhile, had a partially stripped-down car with wider-than-stock wheels but production tyres and brakes, and a non-professional driver behind the wheel. Frankly, I think at this point it's okay to just state that both cars are blisteringly fast, and we'll just leave it there. As I'm sure you all know, Ford has been working hard on readying its new F-150 for production, with a planned F-150 plug-in hybrid and all-electric F-150 due to join its gasoline sibling in the next year. This week, however, recently granted patents surfaced online that suggest that Ford may be working on something rather clever for the all-electric F-150, a truck that we have confirmed will have a massive frunk and be the best-performing F-150 ever. What is this clever thing? A removable range extender in the shape of a truck bed toolbox that could be added or removed as required. I feel I should reiterate here that not everything that gets patented ends up being in production, but this could really be a game changer for the pickup owners who want to go electric but worry about longer distance travel in more remote areas. Tesla published a price drop for the cost of its solar roof system this week, dropping the cost of installation for Tesla's third-generation solar tiles by approximately 4%. That may not seem like much, but when you're talking about spending upwards of $40,000 or more on a system, that's a pretty big saving. But while Tesla dropped its prices for its solar roof, it also quietly put up the price of getting a Powerwall for your home. The reason, we understand, is that there's been a massive increase in demand for systems, driven in part by rolling blackouts in areas susceptible to wildfires. The price increase, about $500 per Powerwall, will give you a bigger bill if you're looking to buy into the joys of backup power, so here's hoping the price drops as Tesla ramps up its battery production. Ahead of the start of official deliveries of the Mustang Mach E next month, Ford has quietly tweaked some of the prices for its various Mach E variants. The biggest price reduction comes for the Mustang Mach E Premium in both rear-wheel and all-wheel drive variants, both of which get a generous $3,000 price cut. But even the entry-level Mustang Mach E Select, previously just shy of $44,000 before incentives, has been given a $1,000 price cut. Again, that's before incentives. If I had to guess as to the reasons behind these price cuts, I think they are a consequence of a Volkswagen announcing pricing for the upcoming ID.4. But it's great to see Ford's first long-range EV get a price cut. Regardless of the reason, that said, the Mustang Mach E is going to be sold through traditional dealers, so I wouldn't expect every dealer to pass that saving on. Price gouging is alive and well, so you should be prepared. It's official. Elon Musk is feeling down about Tesla's recently held Battery Day. And no, I'm not talking about the Q&A session or how the presentation itself went. I'm talking about the way in which the event was received and covered by the media. In a recent interview with Kara Swisher, Musk lambasted the press for their poor coverage, stating it was, quote, a sad reflection of their understanding. While many technological sites, like this one, were generally positive about the event, it seems that mainstream media were disappointed by the overall technical nature of the presentation and didn't seem to understand why Tesla didn't have its promised million-mile battery in production for us yet. We understood very well when Musk reiterated that there is a world of difference between having a functional small-scale production line and a fully automated series volume production setup. But I guess it's just too complicated for some people to figure out. Following on from last month's official reveal event for the ID.4, Volkswagen has cleared up some confusion surrounding official vehicle towing capabilities. As noted in its online configuration tool for the US market, those opting for a rear-wheel drive ID.4, the only car that will be available at launch, will find that towing will be limited to £2,200, which is just shy of 1,000 kilograms. Meanwhile, those who opt to wait for the launch of the all-wheel drive variant will find their cars get an extra £500 of towing capability for a total of £2,700 towing, just shy of 1,225 kilograms. Volkswagen helpfully notes that those limits are with a braked trailer, and I feel the need to reiterate that those towing limits are likely to, and probably will change, depending on where you are in the world. Why? Well, that's simple. Local laws where you live. We recently told you on this channel about California's newly signed bill banning the sales of new internal combustion engine vehicles after 2035. Well, as you might expect, the US EPA and the guy currently in charge, former fossil fuel lobbyist Andrew Wheeler, has had some strong things to say about it. In a strongly worded letter sent to California's Governor Gavin Newsom this week and obtained by Reuters, Wheeler said the plan, quote, raises serious questions regarding its legality and practicality, and then went on to imply that California's current rolling blackouts, which I should note have more to do with safety in a region plagued by wildfires and a recent gas power plant going offline than grid capacity, would get worse if the state went to 100% electric for its transportation. Methinks he protests too much. And finally, ever since the devastating tsunami and earthquake that hit Japan in 2011, Nissan has been fully behind the idea of using electric vehicles as a backup power supply system in an emergency, be it through vehicle-to-grid or vehicle-to-home systems, or just through dedicated emergency response vehicles fitted with extra hardware. A few years ago, it debuted an ENV200 fitted with emergency power takeoff, and now it's done the same with a Nissan Leaf in the UK. Called the Re Leaf, this Nissan Leaf concept has been given a suspension lift, wider track and chunky off-road tyres, as well as an onboard power inverter that powers the external 16-amp 240-volt Commando power socket on the vehicle's front wing. Meanwhile, the rest of the vehicle has been converted into storage and a remote command centre, complete with built-in computers and rescue equipment. It's cute, but honestly, I just want car companies to start putting power takeoffs into their electric vehicles as standard. Some do it, why not all? And on that note, we are done for today. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next episode. And if you haven't already switched, why not switch to New Zealand's only carboNZero certified renewable electricity company? They make it super easy to make the switch, and when you do, you'll be helping New Zealand to wean itself off dirty energy and onto clean, green, sustainable power that will keep the land beautiful for generations to come. I'll be making more great content for you to enjoy next week, but until then, please stay safe, remember to wash your hands, and keep yourself healthy. I'm Nikki Gordon-Bloomfield. Ka kite! See you next time.